All right, live from Scotland Yards. No, it's Larkspur, Colorado at Fruition Farms Creamery. And there he is pulling up, Chef Alex Seidel. And what a day on the farm already. Look at the star-studded lineup we have here. Chef Paul Reilly with us, Chef Justin Brunson, Chef Jimmy Warren. We've got the Butcher Jason Nauert here with us, and Alex Seidel in his place. What we're doing right now is it's a celebration of sorts, but the start of a new era, and Fruition Farms Creamery is up for sale, and Alex Seidel moving on. This is a moment of people are coming here this weekend, and it's going to be quite the celebration. And just looking at all the great times that have happened here at Fruition Farms, we're going to take a look around, and again, just an amazing piece of property south of Denver.
Jason, watch out.
Just north of Colorado
Jason.
Springs. And Chef Alex Seidel.
I was going to lower this.
Chef, what are we doing here right now?
We're about to clean one of these pigs. Did a little harvest this morning with the boys. We've got a little last hurrah on the farm coming up this weekend, and want to feed our community of friends that have been down here and put so much into the farm.
Talked about it being momentarily a bittersweet moment, as the farm will get traded off into different hands, but again, lots of memories in the past 12 years here, Chef.
Absolutely. Today is just another one of those memories that will become one. But great experiences with many friends and colleagues. And
the guys you have here with us today, look at the guys here. You got Brunson, you got Paul, you've got Jason Nauert, Jimmy. These are all of your friends that you've worked with throughout the year, so it just seems fitting to be here today with you this morning.
Absolutely. Brunson over there, we killed and cleaned our first pig at this farm together. And it was the start of something magical for Brunson, going that meat direction and cured hogs and,
Look how far everybody's come. And new chapters are to be expected in life. And it's one of those things to where you got to move forward, but in order to move forward, you have to come to terms with what's happened. What is Fruition Farms Creamery? What has it served to you for the past 12 years? What'd you do here? What got you into farming?
I didn't know what the hell I was doing. It was really just more about connecting with food. I moved to Denver in 2002, and I originally came from California, where you had access on a daily basis.
Yeah.
And there was very little access in Colorado, especially Denver. Certainly Boulder's Farmers Market has been working with farmers for a long time, but that was not accessible to Denver chefs. So this was just really a way to reconnect. And I remember I went out to, after I got the farm, Jim and I, who was a sous chef in the kitchen, we went out to Hudson Valley and we went to a dairy symposium, and that was really the first thing we ever learned about animal husbandry or milking sheep, cheese making, and it's just been, every day has been a learning opportunity.
All right, so this farm is on 10 acres of land,
Yes.
for Colorado.
Yes.
And a lot throughout the year. But how'd you get it? How'd you receive the farm? What was on here?
When I purchased this farm, I was working with a guy named Josh Halder, and he was a grower of mine at Mizuna. And in between Mizuna and Fruition, we started talking about this idea of expanding produce opportunities here in Colorado, and he was growing. He went from his parents' or his in-laws' backyard to a warehouse to, hey, let's think about some farmland and how we could grow more food for the restaurants. And he actually was looking around. We were both looking for farm properties. He spotted this one. And, unfortunately, it went into foreclosure back in 08, 09. And
that was a bubble burst right then in 08, 09.
It was 2 years after Fruition opened, and Fruition at that point was very well supported by our community, and as a way to broaden our access, and I didn't know anything about farming. I used to hate to go to northern Wisconsin when I grew up. But I guess I had some of that in my blood, and came back to it. Didn't develop a business plan, just kind of took a shot at it.
Yeah.
Purchased the property in April 2009, and I think a month later we had about 60 people down here, and we redid this red barn. It used to be blue and yellow, and it was dilapidated, black, concrete from the garage door over, and
So literally a barn resurrection.
we needed a barn resurrection.
I
so
love it.
that was really the first time everybody from the restaurants came down and people from the community came down.
So
and
describe it. 60 people all pitching in. You had the raw materials, and
yeah,
let's get at it.
yeah, it was. We had a party. We turned it into
Sure.
a party.
As well it should be. So a lot of the things that you do here in the farm would really just that romance or that notion that really good food can come from a close proximity, and it can be sourced directly from some things that you were doing. So to go full circle, that meant a lot at the time to have a restaurant and a farm to draw from.
Yeah, it's going to be unfortunate. It's certainly bittersweet because we have access to things that no one else does. And the quality. Ilsa, who was our horticulturalist down here the last 7 years, she put a lot of effort into this place and grew some magnificent things, and we were just so honored. I don't think she realized how honored we were, but to be able to utilize and showcase her talents on a plate was a pretty awesome part of the whole journey.
When did the Creamery step in?
Jimmy and I, we went out to Hudson Valley. He was a sous chef at Fruition. He started in garde there and worked his way on up. And when I purchased the farm, Jim just had an unbelievable innate ability to fix things, build things, blow up things. He grew up in Arkansas.
And loves every second of it.
And you can see him today. He
Just
jumps right
beaming.
in there. This is what he does. And so seeing that, I asked him to go out to Hudson Valley, and we went to a dairy symposium, and we met some people in that industry, and we started going to farms all over the country. We took a road trip, bought equipment in Wisconsin, spent time at an Amish farm. Oh, they burned the rope.
Oh, God. Guys on
There's
the
always something.
I know. Guys on the farm. Can we see the creamery?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's take a look inside of here. And again, this is a fully functioning creamery that's ready to go. You've stopped production since then. How long have you been out of production for here? Because you transferred production. I don't want to say stop production.
Yeah, about a month.
About a month.
Yeah, we're in the middle right now. We're actually not producing at all, which is a little unfortunate, but in due time, hopefully we'll get a piece of the creamery that I want to continue to do up, back, and running.
Now the smell. You come in here right away. I mean,
Yep.
something's going on right here. How do you describe? Just do the play-by-play as we walk through here.
Sure. It pretty much starts on the other side, so why don't we start the play-by-play from in here?
Wow.
So we were busy sanitizing this for a little pig butchery today, but
This is my first time that I've ever been in here. This is fantastic. So in Larkspur, Colorado, at Fruition Farms Creamery, Chef Alex Seidel here with us. Take it from there.
yeah, we can turn some lights on here for sure.
Wow.
How's that? So yeah, this is our little homestead creamery here.
Yeah.
Colorado's first artisanal sheep dairy
Wow.
and creamery.
None of this was in here.
This was a dirt floor.
Holy cow.
And Jim and I I remember us sitting in the back here using straw to construct what this place was going to look like.
The vision.
Yeah, it was
Yes.
crazy.
Some people do a bar napkin. Jimmy and Alex do straw.
So
I would love to have seen what that looked like. Does it look like the straw drawing?
a little more complex, but
Is it a little more complex?
we had this whole idea of the sheep coming down to the creamery, and we had visions of them being outside overlooking the headwaters of Cherry Creek right here. It's a beautiful property. Playing Mozart and having our sheep milk as much as possible.
Drinking Chardonnay.
But yeah, this is where everything started. We got 40 sheep, 40 ewes and 1 ram. In September of 2010, they arrived on a truck from Nebraska, and that night we had to milk them. And this is our milking parlor.
I was going to say, how does that go down? Like, can we step in there?
Yeah, we can go around in there.
I would love to step in there. And I believe everything serves a purpose, so I ask a lot of questions like a little kid. And yes, it is very, very clean in here. So you bring them in through the door?
So originally we had a corral outside here with a row that came down from the pasture, and they would come up onto a platform. We would open this door.
Oh.
And
up top.
And the first sheep would come in. First one would go in to get some feed, which would turn this, and they'd funnel in here 6 at a time. And then we had, this is all a vacuum pump system.
Wow.
Used for dairy, and we would have milkers that come down there. We'd hook up to the teats, and milk would flow into that receiver jar and then pump through the wall into our bulk tank over there.
Wow. Okay, then let's see the process over on the other side now.
So this actually is something that we took from another farm. They used to have theirs on motors, but I was mentioning Jimmy and his wonders. He built this all on pneumatic system.
Unbelievable.
So
this was in an existing structure?
No, we literally we bought all this metal down in Denver at Dencall.
Yeah.
Bought a welder, taught ourselves how to weld, and put it all together.
That's entrepreneurial spirit right there.
Yeah, so it was, you can see some of the welds, they're a little rusty.
Well, every nook and cranny of this thing, so I'm sure you can pick out any little spot.
So
what kind of volume could be produced through there? And is it even a volume issue at that? I mean,
well, it became a volume issue for sure. We were producing, I think we were milking 66 sheep, and we weren't producing enough milk for our cheese production. So that's when in 2016 we sold the flock and started purchasing milk from Wisconsin.
Interesting. Now, if I was to look at this just with the layman's eyes, it's like, oh, what are you distilling? Is this a mash tun? And
sure.
Yeah. What are we looking at here? What's this process?
So this is our cheese making operation. This is the bulk tank that I was mentioning. So we would keep our milk chilled in there, and we'd pump it either into our pasteurizer. This is a 50-gallon vat pasteurizer. Records product temperatures and airspace temperatures, which gets recorded so the state can see that we're pasteurizing for the correct amount of time and the correct temperature. And then this is a raw make tank, so we would transfer in here, and everything would be hand paddled and handmade in this, our Ketchup Cora, which is our raw milk cheese. So we were producing 5 cheeses down here, and really working towards our yogurt production. I feel like we really make a yogurt that is unlike any other yogurt on the market. Mm-hmm. We did a lot of taste testing with Whole Foods over the years, and their executives have been pushing for us to try and get that into their supermarket shelves. And, part of that move to Denver is creating more of those efficiencies and trying to figure it out.
What's a creamery market like? I mean, you think of Colorado, you don't really think of creameries and cheese.
Yeah, Colorado, at one time, we were really trying to start a Colorado Cheese Guild, mm-hmm. And there's certainly some really good producers of cheese in Colorado. Mm-hmm. But it's certainly been a tough market for people, and we've lost some of our best over the years. So, yeah.
Why'd you go with sheep?
You know, Colorado's the land of lamb. Everybody knows Colorado's lamb, right? And when I first moved here in '99, you know, all we did was cook rack of lamb.
That's right.
And we'd always finish it with goat cheese from Haystack.
Mm-hmm.
And as a chef, that never computed in my head. How can we have all this great lamb and then not have a sheep's milk cheese to go with it? And I started doing more research, and it was a very young industry that just started in the early 90s for a reason. You know, we don't necessarily have the breed of sheep here in America that produces high quantity of milk.
Okay.
Certainly quality, but not quantity. And so you're already starting behind the 8 ball with genetics. That's a big part of animal husbandry and farming, is having the best genetics you can get.
Yeah.
So we worked at that for a long time, and you know, sheep's milk produces some of the best cheeses in the world.
Absolutely.
Pecorino, Roquefort, Manchego, you know, from Europe. And I don't know, just set out to do something a little bit different, I guess.
Absolutely. Do you foresee the next owners of this property using, is that the hope, to use this creamery?
You know, I hope so. I hope that somebody finds a home here at this farm and can tackle a lot of the things that we try to tackle, and probably do them better. You know, as I said, a big part of the reason for moving on from the farm is just it's becoming harder to manage. You know,
And with the multiple projects that you have to, because when you do something, you want to put a lot of your passion in and really concert it to that effort.
100%.
You have so many efforts going on.
And I really try not to commit to something that I can't give that 100% to. And, you know, when I found myself coming down here less and less and less, you know, just over this past year, I think it dawned on me, it became time.
A bittersweet moment here in Larkspur, Colorado at Fruition Farms Creamery. Chef Alex Seidel, Greg Hollenbeck, Jay Parker taking a look around. And again, as we look back to the friends that are just in the yard today, ramping up to this Sunday's kind of celebration of all that is, you know, and celebrating old chapters and beginning new chapters and what that looks like. But it's community that comes together. The community it gives me the chills to think of the folks. I mean, truly.
Yeah, you know, that's really what it was about. Was first, it was as a chef expanding your mind, right, beyond the plate of food, learning more about my food, where it came from, but to be able to share that, because I never wanted to do it by myself.
Right. What does it mean if you're alone doing it, right?
Totally. So, I mean, this is something that my cooks, our whole entire teams, I mean, our servers come down here. We have, you know, our teams that come down here with their families and share it with their families. And it's just been kind of an open house for 12 years. You know, I remember Jeff Osaka, he came down here, helped me tile this place. We had Project Angel down here doing lamb butcheries. When John was there, we've had yellow buses pull up here. We've had parties out staying in the field. You know, it's always been about sharing what this place is about, and people take different things from it. Everybody's inspired by something different on this farm. And you know, Paul Reilly today is the first opportunity he's had to take the life of an animal in his own hands.
And you know, he said that it meant a lot to him, because you need to be able to know those things. And especially somebody that partakes in livestock and that's on your menus, it's really good to connect in that sense. And I believe it meant the world to him.
Well, this is life, right? We only get one chance at it.
That's right.
And if you're not living it to your fullest and trying to understand things that you don't understand, you know, that's why it is so special to be able to not only learn these things, but also to be able to share them.
Yeah, I want to continue this conversation. We're going to break away. We're going to come right back. What I want to do is I want to talk to you about the hopes of what you see the next portion of the life of this farm to be, what you would hope that to look like. And there are a lot of folks that may be watching this video right now. Yes, it's available, and it's available for the next chapter. We'll tell you what that'll look like, and we'll also show you a little bit more of the property. And then we'll catch up with our friends that are in the yard right now, as it was a big morning already and harvesting some pigs for the great celebration that's this Sunday. Okay, we're going to break away. We're going to come right back to Fruition Farms Creamery. And Chef Alex Seidel here with us, Jimmy on the other side here. Back in a flash, the Modern Eater Show. We continue.
Hey. What's going on, everybody? This is Brother Luck from Lucky Dumpling, 4 by Brother Luck in Colorado Springs, and I am rocking with the Modern Eater. You're watching them, you're tasting them, you're knowing everything there is to know about Colorado.
Hi, Charlie from Brews Beers here. Our new Belgian Abbey 4-pack is a mixed package of the 4 core beers made in Abbey and Trappist breweries in Belgium. So we have a single, a double, a triple, and a quadruple in one package. Now, quadruples are the emperors of Belgian monastery ales. They're dark in color, with a dense tan head and alcohol ranging from 8 to 12%, so they're pretty strong. Quadruples are very rich and complex with big maltiness, spice, and flavors of raisins, cherries, and plums. Alcohol is apparent in the mouthfeel, but not overwhelming, even at 10.5% ABV. So the finish is long, complex, and dry, and they're great beers anytime, by themselves or with hearty foods. Pick up your Abbey 4-pack at either Brews location, 67th and Pecos, or at Colfax in York, and at fine liquor stores throughout the Denver metro area. Take home some Belgian-style badassery today.
Hi. This is for the outtake version.
What's up, Denver?
I'm Chef Natasha Hess, and this is Chef Carrie Baird, and we are at the Ginger Pig.
Check us out, gingerpig.com. You can also see us on the moderneater.com. Thanks, everybody. It's cornstarch.
I know. It's cool.
Right now, let me tell you about Jeff Rourke and A+ Beverage Solutions. He's the man with the plan when it comes to tap installations and tap maintenance. Jeff Rourke is the most trusted man in the business. 20-plus years, family-owned and operated, does great work, and you might be knocking the rust off of your bar or restaurant and getting things tuned back up. He's the guy to call. If you're pouring inefficient beer, Jay, what are you doing?
You're pouring your money down the drain.
Money. Don't do that. Foam is money. Get a hold of Jeff Rourke, A+ Beverage Solutions. Tell him what you need done. He'd be happy to come out and just take a look for you. Here's the phone number to give him a call, 720-272-3809. One more time, 720-272-3809. It's Jeff Rourke and A+ Beverage Solutions. Okay.
Hi, I'm Amber with Strohauer Farms. And I'm just here to remind you that the best potatoes are grown here in Colorado. Goodness elevated. Thanks for watching the Modern Eater Show.
Hey, Zach Ryder here, Colorado Mills Sunflower Products out of Lamar, Colorado. Your only local source, grown from a local crop to produce a local oil for local chefs. You can find it at Shamrock Foods, What Chefs Want, Seattle Fish Company. Let me try it one more time, then we'll see. Hey, restaurants, we're glad you're reopening. From Colorado Mills Sunflower Oil, we'll see you soon.
First, we partner with the best farmers in the world, and then we tell them, we will take it all. Process whole spices daily, blend custom spices to order, keep it fresh, safe, and flavorful, all so that you can get back to doing what you do best. So whether you're a restaurant, a food manufacturer, or an at-home cook, be sure to visit The Spice Guy at www.thespiceguyco.com.
Hey Modern Eater fans, I'm Don Trobo with The Annex by Ardent Mills, and I just wanted to give you a heads up about some of the great things we've got going on locally in the state. We're headquartered right here, and we're working with farmers in the San Luis Valley to bring you amazing Colorado quinoa. It's just like the South American stuff, but grown locally. We've got transitional wheat flour that's grown by farmers in Colorado and surrounding states who are in the process of turning their fields into organic. So we're taking that transitional wheat and turning it into flour, and now it's available for you to cook and bake with. And last but not least, we're now cleaning grain berries in Denver. So things like spelt or wheat berries or pearl barley, those are things that we're now doing right here locally and are available to you. Can't wait to share it with you.
Hi, I'm Jeff Nations from Aspen Baking Company. It's really important right now to support local. That's why I support the Modern Eater. Now, back to the show.
All right, back on the farm, right in the yard of Fruition Farms Creamery, and got Chef Justin Brunson here with us. What's this process that we're looking at right here, Chef?
So we're deherring this hog. There's a couple ways to do it. You can either dip them in hot water and scrape them, or you can burn them like this. Really what you're doing is you're blistering the skin, that first layer of pigment, and scraping it right off.
How's it going?
It's going good, man. It's going good. It's the dirtiest part of the whole job.
And so at this point, I mean, you know, in layman's, this is the first time I've seen this process. It's kind of like fish scaling.
Pretty much. Yeah, you're taking burn the hair off, and then you blister that first layer of skin, and it scrapes right off.
And so the next step in this process is?
Evisceration. So we'll get them all scraped like this, wash them down, and then we'll take the innards out.
Now, it's not going to be a perfect science this way, right?
Yeah, it's a little bit different than, it's a farm kill, so, it's kind of going more towards those old traditional methods.
Again, 10 acres of land here. You kind of showed me the property lines, but again, on good water access, too, which is really important to any great farm.
Yeah, back when I got the farm, I put in all these water spigots. Well, I've been putting in water ever since I bought the farm, but we originally had to bring water down to this barn. We had to bring water to this hoop house. So when I was doing all that, I had to go through a water court case. And we went for the max, and we have enough water here for a 20-home subdivision.
And now that the fog is lifting a bit, I can get my bearings on the property. It's beautiful in Larkspur, Colorado. It's not just right off I-25. This is pretty remote.
Yeah, it's not too bad. I mean, it's 25 minutes off I-25.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's an hour outside of downtown. You can make it in 48
It's where you
minutes.
would want to be, right.
But, I mean, to have a little bit of land and some opportunity to raise animals, you're certainly getting outside of Denver proper.
Yes, you are.
But, yeah, I mean, we're at the headwaters of Cherry Creek, Palmer Divide. We've got great soil here. This soil was works. The people that owned this before me, she was a master gardener, and she'd worked this soil since '89. They had sheep as well and used a lot of sheep manure, which is certainly really fertile. Barbara from Marzix used to come down here and just pick up manure from me all the time. But yeah, so we continue to use that in our fields, and we've continued to turn more soil and put up more structures so we can grow efficiently here.
What were you doing in these rows?
So this started off as our squash. We were doing a lot of variety of squash here. Ilsa just started this area probably four years ago. Turned the soil and working it. You can also see this on the side here. We grow Artemisia, which is we grow a couple different types of Artemisia. It's also known as wormwood.
Okay.
Which they use to make absinthe. So
wow.
The guys over at Golden Moon
Distillery. Steven.
Yeah, Steve. I just took him a bunch of absinthe the other day.
Oh, he loves that.
Bunch of, not a bunch of absinthe, a bunch of wormwood. So
I mean, this is legit. This looks very equipped. I haven't been in before. You mind showing us around?
Yeah, for sure.
I'd love to look inside of here.
So this was one of the projects that was done when we first acquired the farm. I remember when we put this up, this had to be built for higher wind and snow loads than Vail, Colorado. So it is definitely a well-built structure.
Wow. Okay. You got it going on in here.
Yeah, I wanted it to look good for people that were seeing what is possible.
Sure.
You can grow. We've been growing year round in here for years. In the summer, we take all this plastic off the sides, and that's basically a giant swamp cooler down there. So we can cool this with these fans in the winter and, make all that work.
Are you still funneling some of this produce for the restaurant?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're still using it till the end. We've got some beautiful beet greens in here.
Yeah, show me what you got. Show me what you got, Chef.
You know what? I haven't been able to get down here too much and maintain since I've had back surgery. And
let me just smell this.
But this is all fresh thyme that we utilize.
Oh my God.
You can see our greens are a little bit overgrown over there. Different mustards and whatnot. These are all beet greens. We've got carrots over here. Got a pack of radishes over there with some mint, oregano, some different varieties of cipollini onions, some rosemary back over there, a couple violets and ornamentals. So we do a lot of different things in here, mostly greens and little specialty stuff, though.
What did it mean to you to keep the same name, Fruition, for the farm?
Fruition, the restaurant, is like where everything started. Mm-hmm. It's the heart of everything that I've ever done in my life. My wife helped me name Fruition because she knows how hard I worked. As a cook, traveling around the country, trying to learn, working for people, trying to gain as much knowledge as possible. Living in crappy apartments, making crappy paychecks.
Mm-hmm. Signifies growth.
But just putting into, Fruition, I started with a small amount of money, and I think it's just been a lot of that honest hard work of just trying to do all the right things and just trying to do it for the right reasons. Like I said, you only get one shot at life.
That's true.
And I have a hard time sitting still. I spent over 30 years in kitchens.
Mm-hmm.
And there's only so many ways you can cook a piece of meat or fish, right? And to continue growing, it's what I try and teach everybody that works with me, is that there is something beyond what you're doing today. As long as you continue to pursue and work at it and learn about new things, you can consume yourself with a lot of different things.
When it comes to growth or growing to fruition, there's really never an end point to it, is there?
There really isn't. I mean, as we used to say, our first T-shirt at Fruition was coming to ... fruition. We're still coming to, and we're still coming to fruition. It's a lot of hard work that goes into it. The restaurant was a way that it was like, oh, finally, there's something there's a reward there.
Yeah.
And
something
to be able
hang your hat on a little bit, like I have some footing.
Yeah, and I never thought I'd own a restaurant. Come from single mom, no money. And Fruition was like the ultimate pinnacle, and the farm became something that was an addition to that. And the more and more I get to know people in Denver and the community, I've formed partnerships with people and been able to really create some other fun things beyond Fruition.
Let's talk about that, because with Fruition comes evolution.
Yeah.
And you've really evolved as a chef, as a husband, as a parent, as a steward of our land as well. So as you evolve, or the evolution of Fruition comes into other restaurant endeavors.
Yeah.
Tell us about some of the things you're up to right now.
Yeah, growth is a hard thing.
Yes, it is.
It is. It's not easy because you want to be everywhere. You want to be, the best times in my career were being on the line for 8-10 hours a day with my amigos, and smashing out dinner service, and then I think there's a time where that excitement starts to diminish and you're looking for your next thing that can excite you, right? So I think that's just kind of been the journey that I've been on. I just want to consume more knowledge and do some fun things. And I think, starting with, starting without a huge investment firm or partners or those kind of things has allowed me to choose my own path a bit. And it's, it's just provided wonderful relationships, and those relationships grow. And next thing you know, I've got a partner where we have an opportunity to create even cooler things than I could do on my own. And I think working with people has shown me over the years, I think part of the success is being able to work with all different types of people from all varying backgrounds, respecting those people, respecting where they come from, respecting what they've grown up, lived through, respecting where they're at currently in their life, and trying to either help or help inspire people to want to do the same things and continue to grow.
Respecting perspectives.
And I think with that respect of perspectives, you learn a little bit about somebody, and you also learn maybe where your weaknesses are, because you see other people's positives, right? And combining those things is pretty cool. It's
Powerful.
It's like building a puzzle.
Absolutely. When did Mercantile come into play?
Mercantile is about 7 or 8 years after Fruition. It was in 2014. And Mercantile, I wasn't never planning to do a second restaurant, but
was it an opportunity type of thing?
I had somebody that came to me and said, "Hey, we want you to be in Union Station. You can choose where you want to be. You can be the first one in here." They knew that I was working on a concept, which I was looking for some space in a neighborhood. Never really considered myself a big downtown type chef, really like the neighborhoods.
Sure. The intimacy of 6th Avenue is, to go downtown. But it was
that's home to me.
One of those YOLO things. You only live once, and gosh, it's right there at my fingertips. Might as well just reach out and grab it.
Yeah, I think something that I learned from a guy that I worked from for a long time, and something that I've lived by in my own restaurants is undersell, over deliver. And I remember when we got this farm and there was a bunch of hoopla and people wanted to talk about farm to table and the farm. And I remember, instructing my wait staff we're not farm to table. I've been a chef since the 80s. I've been cooking in kitchens, not a chef, but cooking in kitchens since the 80s. And we always got our food from a farm. And this is not a new phenomenon. It's just something new for us.
Not a buzzword to
you.
Yeah.
And that was for real, and I think that was kind of what I was trying to do with Mercantile was showcase our relationships, and what we can do as chefs without having to sell it.
Yeah.
Our pickling program, our viennoiserie program, our cheese program, all those things were just like an explosion up here. And how do we share that with the community? And that's really what Mercantile became.
How do you tell the story? I mean, which is a great thing, because I always say if a bear spits in the woods and no one's there to see it, did he actually spit, right? I mean, so, and as this ethos connects onto the community that's being built around, I mean, you look at another great chef that with the same mindset of Paul Reilly in the yard right now. It's not a buzz. It's not a keyword. It's not a buzzword. It's not something to bring a guest in. Just it's a way of life.
Yeah, I mean,
how
Paul,
do you stay true to that?
I mean, well, I think it's finding like minds.
It's romantic, but doesn't pay, chef.
No,
it's
it doesn't.
Tough.
Margins
are slim already, and to actually do that artisanal type of process?
There's a handful of chefs in Colorado that I really respect and admire. Paul is certainly at the top of that list. You know, he and I have done trips with Chefs Collaborative. We've done James Beard advocacy tours. We toured a fish farm in Panama together. And it's our commitment to seeing the source, you know, and Paul shares that same commitment, and that's a big reason why he's here today. It's because he's been a big supporter of this farm since day one. His family has been here. And we just, after 12 years, just enjoyed an experience that he and I have never been able to share together.
Just today.
And that was harvesting pigs.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And then on our part, Jay and myself, I got to thank you for allowing us to be a part of that process too.
Yeah.
It meant the world to us.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's never an easy process to witness, but it's definitely a process that I think many chefs have been very enriched by. I know I have. I know it's not easy every time I go through it, but it's a sacrifice, and it's something that, you know, the first pig I ever did at this farm, we used the intestines. I had them turned inside and out, and like everything was scrupulously gone through and utilized. And I think it's just taught us a lot about, as chefs, waste, and not just with animals, but with onions and peppers, and you know, and having respect for our farmers that are growing these things for us, you know. And
I was gonna just dovetail off of that respect of the farmers, respect of the land, respect of life, and the life that is giving us life,
right?
Which is truly. Tell me, first of all, right here, where are we at in here?
This is our animal barn. Actually, this is housed many of animals over the years, from chickens to sheep, pigs, Tina the llama. You know, so Jim and I, we also worked to build this barn out and put all these feed troughs in here. And we used to have my first 2 goats down here. My son was 2, and I had 2 Nigerian dwarfs that were like, and they would run back and forth and shit all over this place. So we had to start making some compartments so we didn't have to clean this up day after day after day after day.
Where'd you find the time?
I took the time.
You needed to.
You know, I was 90 hours a week in the kitchen at Fruition those first few years, and I needed the time. Otherwise, I was not going to last long.
Cathartic of senses.
You know, this industry has put a lot of pressure on many people, and I'm no different, you know. But I think it's recognizing when you're in that space. I needed something different. You know, like I said, I've been in kitchens for over 30 years. I started when I was 14. And, you know, everything I do, revolves around food. It's just a different sector. You know,
therapy
all these businesses are vertically integrated with one another. They all work together. It's part of the puzzle that I love, you know, because it's not put together yet. But we're working on it all the time, you know. We've got the frame maybe done, the outside square edges, but still filling in the pieces.
Scary business to be in, especially right now. Do you see more hope and promise at this point? I mean,
restaurants?
Yeah.
I'd like to
Food
think so.
in general.
I like to think so. I mean, I always thought I lived in a business or I always thought I worked in an industry that was foolproof and that I could travel anywhere in the world and feed people.
Yeah.
You know,
have work.
Only thing I knew how to do,
Sure.
but it was like I thought I would be not what we've gone through in the past year. But I do see glimpses of hope. You know, I think it's good to see that more people made it than I thought were going to make it. You know, and I've heard that sentiment from a lot of people.
And strong too.
You know, and certainly there's those that maybe didn't make it this go around, but I know some of those people. They're strong. They have opportunity. You regroup, right? And you get after it.
Out to the barn. Yeah, we're going to break off real quick. This is a treat, hanging out with Chef Alex Seidel. And really today was a day of celebration, a day of harvesting, a day of celebrating life, a day of celebrating new beginnings. And new beginnings is what's coming up. I know I promised you in the last segment to say, what are your hopes and wishes and dreams for this farm right here? And in Larkspur, Colorado, it's Fruition Farms Creamery. Chef Alex Seidel will break away real quick quick, I'll ask you that same question, and we'll take the rest of the tour, and then we'll catch up with the fellas in the yard. Be right back in a flash. The Modern Eater Show continues.
Hey, you guys, Jay here with the Modern Eater Show. Thanks for watching. Don't forget about our YouTube and Instagram channels. A lot of killer content over there. Throw us a subscribe on YouTube. Throw us a follow on Instagram. And thank you for supporting TME. We couldn't do this without our amazing sponsors, so let's check them out right now.
Very proud to be part of the Modern Eater, and chefs, restaurant owners, any food service operators. You know, I know right now that delivery and carry out is bigger than ever, and we got you covered. Cambro has a full line of delivery and carry out items. More economical options are expanded polypropylene or EPP, nice insulated container. The ProCard Ultra is really versatile. It's a great unit because you could actually store cold products down here, hot products up here. It's all 120, there's no refrigeration worries. It's all thermodynamics. Just let us know what your food service challenges are, what it is we can do to help you out, and there isn't anything that we can't do for you. So hope to see you over here at our facility in Park Hill soon, and stay safe out there.
You know, everybody, with several $1 million of hard assets here, insurance is very, very important to us. Ewing Levitt covers it all. Machinery, building, workman's comp. Ewing Levitt's got us covered from the floor to the ceiling, from our alley even to the street. This divider, this press, my cooling conveyor, my oven. Ow, ow. Ewing Levitt covers our counter stacker and our employees too. If you need insurance, take it from Little Rich at Rockalitas. Call Ewing Levitt, they'll get you covered.
Hey, this is Keegan from D-Bar in Denver. You guys might find it difficult to stay in touch and stay up to date with the ever-changing culinary scene in Colorado. It's almost impossible. Just tune in to the Modern Eater. These guys have their fingers on the pulse of what's happening in all of the food and beverage in all of Colorado. They're behind us. They understand the idea of shopping local and shopping small. So support them, you support us.
All right, you guys, back to the show in just a second. I'm here in Colorado Springs with Chef Noah Siebenaler, and we're here to tell you about bread, and specifically Aspen Baking. Aspen Baking Company has been baking the best bread in Colorado since 1994. Chef, I know you use Aspen Baking Company here. What do you use here? Why do you like it?
So I use their sourdough, their French Parisian, their burger rolls, marble rye, and slider rolls. I was introduced about 3.5 years ago, and I haven't found a better bread in Colorado since. So we use it exclusively for everything.
I'm telling you what, you guys, don't take my word for it. Take Chef Noah's. They're making quality product. They don't put in the fake colors. They don't put in the chemicals. They don't freeze it. They don't do that stuff. They just bake fresh bread. AspenBaking.com is where you go to get that bread. And now, back to the show.
All right, back on a chilly spring day in Larkspur, Colorado, Fruition Farms Creamery, Chef Alex Seidel. As we take a look around, I promised as we broke off to come back with the question. When you see something that means so much to you, and I think that really just the discussion that we had in the past 20 minutes is really personified what this property means to you. It's not just a wash your hands of it. You really have hopes for what you'd like to see this farm to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've met a couple prospective buyers over the last couple months, people who've reached out from, there's a Denver Farmers Network, and I think it got out around there. And, so I've met some people down here. I've had some personal friends reach out about it.
Can't we just all pitch in? Can't we all? Can't we?
And that's the thing is, like, I've even had some people say, "Hey, let's partner on that thing, and let's do something a little different." And I was like, it's not about the venture. Yeah. It's not about the business that is on the farm. It's just about the timing in my life.
Right.
You know, and I think without having to manage this piece of property, it will bring me some time to look at other opportunities, bigger ideas in agriculture.
Absolutely.
You know?
And when you look at this piece of property, I see vibrant life. I see people, a community of folks that really, and again, I think it circles back to when you began your endeavor with this property of saying, I got to push. I want to get in here and hunker down and really be a part of this land. And it was something that you really wanted to do. You want somebody in here that really wants to do this.
Well, it's that transition we were talking about earlier. You know, once it was about the plate of food.
Uh-huh.
Then it was about connecting with food.
Uh-huh.
You know, right now, I work on my own systems for this farm when I could be working on systems. I'd love to be a part of the 2050 food vision of Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
I was a part of a panel last year for that.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, absolutely.
Really? Could you give me 30 seconds on what that is?
Yeah, I think, last year I was with a group of 24 or so people from around the state that were put together to collaborate on what Colorado's 2050 food vision is. What is our state going to look like?
Yeah.
I mean, we do $9 billion in agriculture and only $200 million stays in the state.
Interesting.
Please
tell me food.
There's no access there.
Please tell me food doesn't look like it's meat in a laboratory or.
What
does that 2050 food vision look like, Chef?
You know, I surely hope not. I mean, we've been working with a lot of farmers that are looking at new regenerative practices. We look at carbon offset, ways to pay back our farmer. We're actually starting something at Fruition with zero food print, which is something that I've vetted over the last year and a half. It was started by Anthony Mayant out of California, and we finally have the systems in place to take money from restaurants and give it back to farmers. And we're going to start with this pilot model here coming up in the next month or two. And that's broad vision, right? That's more than me just buying my own carrots from my farm.
Mm-hmm.
This is supporting other farmers, and like you said, somebody to take this farm. I hope it's somebody that I know, somebody that I can work with, support, and be a part of their future as well in any way I can, mostly on the supportive side.
This house? Can you live in this house?
Yeah, this house is totally operational. You know, it's built in the 40s. I gutted it back in 2009. You know, it's got stainless steel appliances and granite countertops. And, you know, it's a 2-bedroom upstairs and a walkout basement. It's certainly got a little bit of life in it. But, you know, everything's pretty much been redone in there.
So anxious to see what the next chapters hold. So down here, more growing facilities. These hoop houses, are they operational right now?
You can even hunt in your own tree stand in your backyard. There's
where's
deer droppings
where's
right
the
there.
trees?
I was showing you the deer droppings.
Oh, yes, you can. Oh, man, bittersweet for you, I'm sure.
Yeah, you know, we did a lot of different types of farming out here. This is called haggle culture, this mound right here.
And is that like a runoff system?
It's a Eastern European method of growing in compost.
Interesting.
So something I knew nothing about.
I've been seeing as I travel the state because of Colorado and how it goes mountainous to flatline, that there's terrace planting to where you will go and kind of for water conservation too, for the runoff and certain this reminded me of that a bit. But you're getting a lot of runoff from this hill as
we
well,
do,
aren't you?
Sometimes we get a little too much.
To where it washes it down?
No, I mean, with the hoop houses, we have protection. But also we have berms throughout this whole property that are meant to protect that because, as we said, we're right here at the headwaters of Cherry Creek, so everything's flowing down to that little tiny creek there.
This is a great farm. It really is. This property is so, I mean, it's laid out perfectly for anybody who wants to just step in and start growing right away.
Yeah, I mean, you see all these hydrants here. We were meaning to put a third hoop house here where this hydrant is. But we've got hydrants set up everywhere, and we used to hand water all this. And when I say we, I mean Ilsa.
Yes. Master gardener Ilsa.
Yes, kicked some ass down here for many years, including building this hoop house with the help of Josh Olson. Josh Olson was a huge help in building this for us, with us. Yep. We've got 2 different hoop houses here. We'll step into this other one.
Sure. Oh, this is great.
So you can see it's definitely overweeded.
Yeah, that's right.
But this is something that we started in the fall last year. This is all filled with carrots and beets. And we're still harvesting. Some nice baby carrots.
I love it.
Maybe want to wash that one off and take a...
Well, if Brian Freeman was here, he would just chew on it.
Afternoon snack. I just haven't been down here consistently enough, and with Ilsa gone, it doesn't get the love and attention it deserves right now, so we need someone to take care of that for us. So we each got carrots.
Yeah, we each got carrots.
Boom. Cheers.
Cheers. One of the things is, as you're right, you got to go through here and taking care of this land is everything. But you've seen some heydays inside of here too, huh? To kind of lay the land of what you've seen throughout the years in here.
Well, this one structure that we're in, we've lost this cover probably 3 or 4 times over the years.
I was going to
ask. The first time it was due to wind, and I wasn't here that day, but the stories go that people were 10 feet up in the air trying to hold this thing down.
Oh, my goodness.
And it blew off and almost clipped the electrical poles over here on the road. When that happened, we decided, let's use a zip netting, something where the air can flow through.
Yep.
And we concreted all these posts in, and Josh put up this net. And mid-June, we got 2 feet of snow up here, and that crumpled all those posts.
Man, I have trouble putting up an 8x8 tent for a brewery.
My lab, I have a chocolate lab. I had a chocolate lab that got through a little corner of that when the chickens were eating in here and foraging one time. So that was not a great experience for the corner of the greenhouse and for the chickens. So that was a little tough.
You were raising chickens here as well?
Yeah, we used to let them kind of root around and forage in here.
Gotcha.
And, pick through all the grubs and whatnot.
What a great tour of the property. How can people get more information to see this property if they're interested in looking at it?
So, yeah, this property is listed. Matt Call from NavPoint. He's the principal of NavPoint Realty. Okay. They can certainly reach out to me and private message me through social media. Yeah. And I can put anybody in touch with Matt. Come down and have a tour of the place and check it out.
Yeah, I mean, you're looking at a tour of it right now, and truly just a great morning to catch up. And what's on the menu?
We're actually going to be cooking these pigs that we harvested today. No better way to go out than to harvest the bounty that we raised. It was kind of cool to bring the chefs down today and do a little bit of a harvest and
super cool.
Get those pigs ready for Sunday. And I think we're going to cook them up multiple ways. I'm going to try and maybe reach out to my friend Loca and see if I can get some fixins for tacos.
Yeah.
She doesn't know it yet, but I've been thinking about it.
Dana, get ready.
Yeah, and then I think we're just going to have a big group celebration. Everybody kind of bring a little side dish. I'm going to have some beer, of course, for everyone, and we'll get some buses for people to make it here safe and back.
Fun.
And, maybe have a little bonfire and just cook and celebrate.
So we're going to walk up on these guys here in the yard. I think they're still in the yard. One thing that I think would be really cool, Chef.
One pig is done.
Where are these guys at?
They took the one pig inside.
Oh, they're inside?
Yep.
I wanted to catch up with these guys. Say something nice about each one of these guys. Chef Paul Reilly.
Oh, Paul Reilly, he's been He's been a partner in crime with me in many things, and I've been a partner in his crimes for many years. It started off trying to sell him cheese, and he was very finicky. And he was probably the hardest chef to crack. But it just so goes that we became neighbors and friends, and lived in the same neighborhood and spent some time together. And like I said earlier, we've traveled a lot, and Paul is genuine, very genuine fellow. He's also not in a position where he's standing on a soapbox and trying to preach to the world, but he's trying to be real and honest. And it comes through in his restaurants for sure. Justin Brunson.
Yeah, Chef Justin.
You know, that character and we go back to the Mizuna Luca days. And we used to share a beverage after work. And
what is this the same Justin?
A beverage or two.
Yeah, or two. Okay.
You know, and he's just one of those guys that is just one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet.
Yeah.
You know, he's just got such a huge personality.
Yeah.
But he's got a big heart.
Totally.
You know, and he's got one of the biggest hearts. And we started at young ages together, and we've been able to support each other through our own paths. You know, and he certainly supported me. And like I said earlier, you know, we harvested and butchered our first pig together here. Here.
On this farm?
On this farm. Wow. You know, and for a guy who has as much experience doing that, to know that he did his first one here, it's pretty cool.
Means a lot.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Jason Nauert, you know, he's a butcher friend of mine from the Springs. And we've gone elk hunting together. We've talked philosophy on animals and butchery, and he actually butchers animals for the military. And travels all over the world, works with all 4 branches of our military. And his first class that he ever did with the military was on this property. And we knew each other through mutual contacts. He called and I said, hey, can I do this demo for some service folks? And, you know, whatever we can do to help train, of course. You know, I'm supportive of that. And, you know, he was in the military, and, you know, he's just put so much of his career into teaching the people that protect us, and, like, what a great dude.
And what a wealth of knowledge.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just a great guy.
So he's probably, he's killed more animals than all of us.
Yeah. And he's a pro.
Yeah, he's a pro.
Great at what he does. Chef Jimmy Warren,
you know, the one and only cheese shepherd. He's been my partner in crime in this whole thing, you know, without...
He kind of raised under your tutelage, though, right? Wouldn't you say?
Well, you know, he started in my kitchens in Garmager and rose his way on up, but that's due to his own work ethic and abilities. And, you know, I've learned just as much, if not more, from him down here than he's learned from me. And even though he's no longer making cheese here at the farm, we're still continuing our venture together at a new pizza place that I just started collaborating with and became a partner in. So Jim and I's journey are going to continue past the farm, which is special to me because as I talked about people developing, I took Jim and some other chefs of mine at the James Beard House a year and a half ago, and we were in Brooklyn having dinner, and I'll never forget, Jim and I were having a one-on-one conversation, and we were talking about the creamery and, you know, what the future of it looked like and what his future looked like, and he shared with me at that point that he really wanted to get back into a kitchen. And, you know, so understanding that same thing, like, we only have one life. If that's where you want to be, let's work on that, you know. And so he's graduated from the farm. He has all these skills. He's been an award-winning cheesemaker, and now he gets to continue to pursue what he wants to in food. And
what are your hopes for him?
You know, he's worked his ass off down here.
Yeah.
And I can't say it's gone exactly as peachy as we thought it'd go. Sure. You know, we've gone through a lot of trials and tribulations here at the farm, and trying to make it work for 12 years and make the creamery work. And, you I've had partners that have probably started later than him, but have had a little bit more success than him over the years, and that always sticks in my heart.
Yeah.
I want to see him be as successful as he can be, and whatever that means to him, So, if I can be a small part of his journey and help support that, I know he's been there to support me and help me.
Yeah. Seeing him happy is probably the biggest thing.
What's that?
Seeing him happy.
Oh, totally. I mean, you can see it.
So when you think of the farm here, Fruition Farms Creamery, you got columns in life a lot of times, win and loss. I mean, where do you put it? Is this win? Is it a loss?
Oh, it's a huge win.
Yeah.
It's bittersweet.
Yeah.
It's definitely bittersweet. We're not going to have too many days like this in the near future here, which is the bitter part.
It's winding down. And winding down under your navigation, right?
Yeah, well,
it'll be ramping up, and that's the beauty of land.
Yeah,
and life.
Absolutely.
It's not going to start.
Doesn't have to end.
Right.
Doesn't have to end with me.
That's right.
I truly believe I wish I could have lived on this property.
Would you have?
And done it some real justice.
Yeah.
It would have been much, probably much more fulfilling, but it would also taken me a lot away from something that I truly love, and that's restaurants and people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
community is everything. We're going to go over and catch up with these characters right now. I can't thank you enough for the tour today, allowing us access to trusting us and being a part of this community that is just, it blows me away how tight and knowledgeable and just vibrant and so full of life. And again, that goes back to really just hospitality and servitude and being what that is. And food and beverage brings us all together.
Greg, you and all the people over at Modern Eater, you guys have done an amazing job just to help share what Colorado has to offer. Yeah. Not just restaurants, not just chefs, not just cooks, but like farmers, the people who are doing the work. There's been a lot of people on your show that get to inspire others in our community to do things. Yeah. And that's the coolest part, is because Denver's become a kick-ass place, in just a short amount of time. And you guys are certainly a part of that journey too.
Thank you. Means a ton to us, and as we travel the state and the highways and byways and dirt roads, and we get to tell the stories of the folks that don't really have a voice.
Yep.
And such unthankful jobs, and the integral part of just the glamour of getting a delicious dish at Fruition, and you see it plated up, and there's so much that goes along into that.
Yeah.
And there's so many hearts and minds and inspiration and dreams that go into just bringing that plate of food to fruition.
That was the whole beginning training thought that I would share with all my cooks, was that this box of arugula has a journey. Mm-hmm. It might have not come from here, but now you know what it means when it comes from here, because you've harvested, you've watered it, you've weeded it, you've put it into a package, you've brought it back up to the restaurant at 8:30 p.m. When you've worked all day down here.
Yes.
A lot of strong cooks in our culture over the years have been really warriors in defending that.
It's a beautiful thing.
There's some guys that come to memory, like Josh Rathbone and Nick. I mean, these guys actually became cheesemakers.
Mm-hmm.
It's part of their repertoire.
It brought their life in that direction.
Totally.
That is
so.
Well, I think we should go full circle and begin the day where we started it, right up here with our friends, and that's what we're doing. It's a celebration today, and it's new chapters and new beginnings, and that's what springtime signifies for me, growth and life and evolving and just really, really getting on track. And I hope that today, by seeing this, it inspires you. It definitely inspires me. Can't thank you enough, Chef.
Thanks, Greg.
Chef Alex Seidel. We're going to go up and hang out with our friends right now.
Hey guys, Alex Armitage over at Sam's number 3 Glendale. You want a Bloody Mary? You want a cheeseburger? You want a breakfast burrito? Greek salad? Bacon gyro meat? Chicken souvlaki? Barbecue ranch salad? We got you covered. Come down and see us. One more time. Try it again. Hey guys, Alex Armitage over here at Sam's number 3 Glendale. Now get your ass to themoderneater.com. Thank you so much.
Modern Eater, we love you guys. This is Amber with Northern Colorado Potatoes, reminding everyone that potatoes grown here are truly rooted in love and rooted in a long history of being grown in this area. Early 1900s reports show that this was either the largest or one of the largest potato producing areas in the nation. Other states have had some amazing branding, but don't forget we have all your favorite varieties and more you love to cook and eat, including russet. Support local potatoes, you won't be disappointed.
Hey guys, it's Caroline Glover. I'm the chef owner of Annette out at Stanley Marketplace. Citrus is about to be in its prime, and you're watching the Modern Eater Show. I'm fine with that.
Making education cool again, Jay. You know how? Culinary Quick Start program. We are in love. They're using Studio Kitchen Colorado Monday through Thursday. If you have any desire to get into culinary or you're just sharpening your skills, I'm telling you, these guys, Chef Blake, Chef Marcus, they're instructing a course, and I've been there the past couple of nights, and this course is cool. It's informative, it's innovative, and it has the Modern Eater touch on it. You can tune into this as well, but you have to sign up for the course. If you go to themoderneater.com, you'll see it on the top navigation bar. It's a drop-down. Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start. All of the stuff that we're doing and sign-up information is right there for you. It's a gimme. It's free to you. It's like the cooking classes you pay for. Don't pay for them anymore. You just sign up, and what is the best part of this thing? We got jobs for you. The troops are rallying, the community's getting together, and there's a baseline. So restaurants, if you want to get involved, you're a restaurateur, you can get involved because we need you and you to support this program with your skills. So what does that entail? This entails getting together and having a job seminar for these students. It's going to be a baseline. You need a baseline of knowledge for your students for when they come in. You know they're going to be able to handle a line in a kitchen. So get involved. If you have any interest in signing up and being a student for this class, you can't get in on this 3 weeks, but the following 3 weeks you can get in on. Again, sign up, themoderneater.com. You'll see Emily Griffith Culinary Quick Start. But we want you to join the revolution of making education cool again. Okay. All right, in Larkspur, Colorado. Look at these suspects. I promise it's not a police lineup. No, this is the good stuff right here. Talk about community, and again, a bittersweet time is ramp up to Sunday celebration at Fruition Farms Creamery. And again, what a great conversation we had with Alex Seidel. But look at these stars. Alex, Chef Jimmy Warren, Chef Paul Reilly, the Butcher Jason Nauert, and here he is, Chef Justin Brunson. Look at, they're all here. They're all lined up. Man, so Alex, you had a lot of nice things to say about these guys, right?
Yes.
Now say,
can I take them back?
Yeah. Truly, you guys. Look at Justin.
Yeah.
Down here today. It meant a lot to be here today.
Oh, of course, man. I've been coming around these parts for the last 10 years? Was it been
12?
12 years? Is that how long it's been?
Yeah. I learned a fact, and I don't know whether it's true or not, but did you harvest your first pig here with Alex 12 years ago?
Yeah, we did. We harvested one of the first ones that we did. The first pig I killed in Colorado was on this farm, right here, actually.
Yeah.
Right there. Right here. Me and Jimmy and Alex, Matt Vodder.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a good day.
Now, Alex described you as one of the nicest, sweetest guys that you'd ever come across with a big heart.
Yeah.
I'll leave the second part out.
I feel like this is the newlywed game.
That's right. Oh, Jason. You know what he said about you? Tremendously knowledgeable
Bachelor number
guy.
3. I'm sexy.
That was left out. That was overlooked. But your knowledge in just the business and how you work with the military, I'll tell you what, fantastic in just your knowledge base for the art of the kill, really.
Yeah. Takes practice.
Yeah, well done.
Got to do it right. Got to
Yeah.
treat the animal right. That's the most important thing.
Chef Paul Reilly, today was a big day for you.
It was. It always, but every day is a great day down here at the farm.
That's right. But your first opportunity to take part in a harvest of this fashion.
Sure, I've been witness to them, but never done it myself. And I think it's super important if you eat meat. That's something that you should be conscious of. And to be a part of that, especially in the humane way that it was done, was pretty special.
Yeah. Chef Alex and I talked about really the ethos of that true, really before buzzwords of farm to table, of really bringing ingredients and knowing where they're from and connecting those dots. And Chef Brunson, a while back, we've talked, you said you want to talk to the real OG about who this is, and time again, your name comes up, Chef Paul Reilly.
Oh, that's about the best compliment I could possibly receive.
As well as
it's true, though.
But I heard you were a hard ass when it came to cheese purchases.
You want to talk about the 2 tightest chefs I know, right? Over here, my sound of meat. Jeez.
No, I shared that you were one of the more meticulous chefs that took time in developing a relationship, and you were firm.
Yeah,
You know?
I'm happy to hear that, man.
And but also you've done more than support this farm. You've cooked down here, and you've cooked for my teams down here.
Yeah, that was a blast.
You cooked for Outstanding in the Field down here.
But now that'll be like the crown jewel of being. Well, maybe that was a very special night. It was a very special dinner.
You supported Elsa a lot. The cheese. I used to bring deliveries over to your back door at Beast all the time. It was my opportunity to hang out with you. A lot more back then than now.
Right.
You also described Paul as a partner in crime and somebody that you got to know throughout the years and really just become very close to as a friend, as somebody that you've networked with.
We, there's only a handful of chefs in Denver that lead the way when it comes to advocacy and getting the word out about food.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul is one of those people. We talk about it because the same people are there time and time again, fighting the good fight.
Mm-hmm.
And Paul's always there.
You're back open for business, too.
Yes,
Yeah.
both of them.
Congrats.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
But made it happen again. So
Praise the Lord.
Yes, it feels great to be back, and I feel like we haven't skipped a beat. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You didn't lose your touch?
You come on down and check it out.
I can't wait. You see for yourself. I think this is really cool and fitting because this gentleman to your left, Chef Jimmy Warren, I mean, talk about husbandry. I mean, truly, right? I mean, you guys are together in it to win it. That's a special relationship that you guys have.
Yeah.
A truly special relationship.
It's been a long time building.
Every time I've been around you, Jimmy, you're completely progressive, kicking the rock down the road. You're somebody who's fun to be around. I learned so much from you, and just your expression for life, it just exudes through you, man. And I just want to learn more from you, be around you more. What are you doing right now?
So I'm working with this guy a little bit more. We're making some pizzas now.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we're out at making some changes in a little small family pizza joint right now.
Why pizza?
Why not?
Yeah.
It's delicious.
Everybody loves pizza. Why not bring something that people love and bring it to them and make it fantastic?
This is a good moment to wrap it up right here, huh?
Yeah, man, this
It's
is
the
awesome.
perfect moment.
Thank you.
Yeah, to capsulize this type of thing. Jay, we're going to take we're not even going to air this, okay? We're just going to put it in a time capsule and let it die with a bunch of other memories. No. You guys, each and every one of you, special place in my heart. I love you guys. Let's continue doing this. And again, this Sunday celebration, That's what it is, man.
Yeah,
Big
we're
A.
gonna have a celebration.
Big.
We're gonna
Rock
have a
on.
celebration.
All right.
Thank you, boys. Love you, boys.
You'll be there for that, right?
We're going to be there. That's
gonna be
right.
awesome.
Thank you, Jeff.
The big hurrah.
All right.
that?
It doesn't get any better than this.
Dude, it's gonna be
This
a good
is
time.
the Modern Eater at its finest. So for Jay Parker,
home
myself,
for
Greg Hollenbach,
I bet.
Chef Jimmy Warren, Chef Paul Reilly, the Butcher Jason
He'll be
Nauert,
fly fishing,
the
too.
Butcher Chef Justin Brunson, and of course Chef Alex Seidel. I'm Greg Hollenbach. We'll see you down the road as the Modern
get out
Eater
there
Show
What?
continues.
Oh, we will. I got you, bro. You
Yeah.
did that.